Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nomade Discover series. Today, we're gonna visit the amazing destination that is Chiloé, and we will do this by the lens of OCIO Territorial Hotel. Let's start from the beginning. There's some people just joining the webinar, so we will wait a little bit of a couple of minutes, one minute, just to be able to everyone to log in and be present. But the idea of this webinar is to understand and know a little bit better about this amazing destination that is not really well known in Australia and not really in the scope of people that are going to visit Chile. So this is an amazing opportunity for me to share the information and also hopefully for you an opportunity to learn about a new destination like Chiloé. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Nomade Unique Experiences South America. We are a representation company of unique product from South America, unique experiences of South America. Here you can see some of the points that our hotels and cruises actually covered in South America. Today we manage product from Chile, Peru, and also Antarctica. Okay. So let's start. And today we're gonna travel to Chile. Okay. Chile is a land of contrast, and as you can see in the pictures, is a destination that is based on nature, culture, and local encounters. Okay. Um, as I was saying, is Chile is surrounded by the Andes and the Pacific Ocean. Okay, and this makes that the geography, their people, and the different climates of the country very unique. So you will find pretty much every single climate that you can find in the world. You will find it through the north in Chile, from the Atacama Desert all the way to Patagonia, going through the Lake District, Wine and Lake District, and part of this amazing south part or Lake District, we can find Chiloé. Okay, Chiloé is the biggest island in Chile. Is an archipelago that is composed by a little bit more than 200 islands, and they have a main island and then surrounded by smaller ones as well. As you can see here, we can stop. This is the main postcard that you will see from Chiloé. Very colorful, and this reflects how the people from Chiloé actually live their life within one foot on earth or in the ground, and the other one in the ocean. So they actually build their houses on top of the ocean and being in tune with what the tides are actually doing. Okay, so here is a destination that, compared to other destinations in Chile, it doesn't survive mainly from tourism, which makes this destination very unique and very authentic. That I would say is the main word to describe this destination: authentic. Okay, so here you find culture. Mainly, the culture that you will find is mainly based on. You can see the culture from the different churches that you see around the island. This is an expression of the community. You'll find it's not only a place for worship, but also where the community unites. Okay, and 16 of these churches around Chiloé archipelago are declared UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, of course, nature is a big part of what you'll see here. You'll find that the west coast that faces open the Pacific Ocean is very raw, is very wild, and here you find some of the most amazing national parks in the island and in Chile. And on the other side, on the east coast of the island, you'll find most settlements and the main cities of the island. Okay, and here you can find, of course, the fishermen and the people that live from the earth. Okay, and of course, their people. as I was saying, the fact that it is an island and the fact that it is a place that has been able to maintain their traditions through time, it makes one of the main keys of your visit to Chiloé, meeting the local people. Okay. And where there's people, and when you have local traditions, you can find myth and legends. There are a lot of stories from ghost ships to creatures from the forest that will actually enchant everyone that is interested in the mythology and the actual people. This is part of what Chiloé is all about, and it's a strong part of the cultural experience that you will live when you visit the destination. Okay, let me show you a little bit of a video, and then we'll continue.
Chile is so vast. It's like a bunch of different countries in one country. Spent a lot of time in Chiloé, which is a beautiful island that has its own kind of distinct culture. Chiloé is beautiful for not only its natural landscape, but also for the footprint that the people of Chiloé have left on the architecture of the villages, of the churches. Every single one is so unique. It's a hard life the further south you go, and the people kind of have that. They're tough. They're kind of, they walk around in the rain without an umbrella. They don't dress with a lot of clothing, even though it's freezing outside. And people come and they think they're kind of crazy, but they kind of are proud of that. While I was in Chiloé, I heard people speak about this experience they had with what is, I suppose, a barbecue. It's called curanto, made in a way that was traditional beyond memory. I think the further south you go, the more people are welcoming because it's hard to get there, and they really appreciate foreigners or tourists who make the effort to go there and want to sit down and talk to them. Really kind of put it all out for you and make you feel very welcome.
Okay, so that's a little bit of an introduction to the destination. As you see, very down-to-earth destination, people still living from their crops, still people living from the ocean, and for me, that's what Chiloé is all about. It's a cultural experience. It's more than just the nature that surrounds your hotel or the main cities in the island. Is being able to see the real people from Chile and in this case from Chiloé. Okay, so the location, of course, in South America, in the Lake District, the beginning of Patagonia, as you can see there, around 900 kilometers south from Santiago, and you have direct flights to Chiloé from Santiago, 1 hour and 49 minutes. And then you have a little bit of the schedule. So when you actually go to Chiloé, you'll be arriving around 11 a.m. So you can start your stay at Chiloé with lunch, of course, at the hotel, and then set up your experience to explore this amazing destination. Okay. So as I was saying, Chiloé is a land of myth and legend. Okay, unique folklore and culinary traditions. As you saw in the video, the most famous culinary tradition is the curanto, which is it's a melting pot of the produce from the earth and the ocean all in one gathering. Okay, and that's something that is also part of what the local people wants to share with the passengers that actually visit the destination. Okay, and you can see here these houses on top of the ocean are called palafitos, a traditional type of architecture as well in Chiloé, and actually unique in Chile as well. Okay, we also discussed about these World Heritage churches that were declared 16 of them were declared World Heritage Sites by UNESCO. And as I was saying, not only a place for worship, but also a place for the community to get together. Okay, so this is the heart of the community, and you'll find these churches all spread out through the archipelago. Okay, what's really interesting is that when the Spanish came to Chiloé, they brought, of course, Catholicism with them, and then the design to build up these churches, but in Chiloé didn't have the materials that they have in Europe, so they had to build everything made out of wood, and the people from Chiloé were expert boat builders. So when you go in to in any of these churches, you actually see what the architecture is all about, but then you see how the boat builders set up the ceilings as a boat upside down. So it's you start linking again what is happening in the community and the influence from the ocean, from the Spanish and from the Aboriginal people or the indigenous people from the area. So again, is a melting pot of culture and the heart of the community, as we were saying. Okay. Of course, I think nature is what describes or what is being promoted from Chile to the world, and in Chiloé is no exception. Okay, so you have amazing national parks, mainly in the west coast, where we discussed that you have the open ocean, you're facing the Pacific Ocean, and it's very raw, very wild. So again, it's a contrast to compared to what you see on the east coast of Chiloé. Okay. In terms of climate, a little bit about Chiloé is it's humid, cool temperature climate. As I was saying, the west side of the island is rainy and wild, and home to Valdivian temperature rainforest. And on the other side is a little bit more calm because it's protected by the island itself. Okay, you have again, because it's an island, you have endemic flora and fauna, and typical groups of areas such as the monkey of the mountain is a small possum that lives in the forest of Chiloé. You have the chucao, a specific bird that you only find in Chiloé, the Darwin frog, and the fox from Chiloé as well. So you have endemic flora and fauna as well. And then, as I was saying, it's part of Chilean territory, the biggest island in Chile, the second biggest island in South America. Okay, most of the people live in Ancud and Castro. Okay. And to check a little bit of the highlights of Chiloé, of course, you have the national park, the main national park, which is part Cucao, which is the area where the national park is located. Then you have the churches all spread out across the archipelago, and you have 16 of these churches that are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Then you have near the national park, you have the Muelle de las Almas, which is actually is the translation will be Dog of the Souls. Then you have the Tocoihue waterfalls, which is an amazing waterfall that you will find on your way from Castro, the main city or the capital of Chiloé, to the national parks. You have multiple markets, handcraft markets, being the most interesting one or the biggest one based in Dalcahue. And then you have Castro itself, okay, where you find the best expression of palafitos in the island. And probably the most important, and what will make your experience in Chiloé different to the rest of the country, is the people from Chiloé. Okay, authentic people, working class, authentic people. So it's a privilege to. I was there in April, and it was a privilege to meet these people and understand their way of life. And is literally a trip into the past. Okay, so let's talk about where to stay and how to experience this destination. Okay, so we'll we'll talk about OCIO Territorial Hotel. Okay, uh, this hotel is, wait a minute, I want to. Okay, so now you can see OCIO Territorial Hotel. Okay, so this hotel is a 15-room lodge with privileged views of Castro City. Okay, um, 4 different room categories up to 65 square meters. Okay, the hotel is located in the Rilan Peninsula, opposite to Castro. So actually, from the common areas of the hotel, from the dining room, from the living room that you're seeing on your screen, and the terrace of every single room, you'll see Castro City, which is an amazing sight when you come back from exploring the different corners of the island. Okay. We'll talk a little bit about the hotel, the architecture, and how OCIO set up this amazing experience around Chiloé. Okay, here is a little bit of the common areas of the hotel, and at the background you can see Castro, and here you have the Rilan. This is the Rilan Peninsula, and what you see there is the fjord of Castro. Okay, OCIO Territorial Hotel is born by a dream from Christian Medina and his wife. Okay, Christian, that I had the privilege to meet on my trip in April to Chiloé. They fell in love with this land, and they actually acquire a piece of land where the hotel is located today. But they actually promised the original owners of the land to keep the traditions and the ways of Chiloé for intact and be able to share them with the people that visit the island. Okay, so the idea was to spread out what Chiloé and their culture is all about, and be able to pass this message to future generations. Okay, so there's a lot of commitment into what Christian and Jasna are doing in the island, not only setting up a really high-end experience to the people that visit the island, but also in the most sustainable way possible. Okay, this hotel, to give you an idea, this hotel, they don't close in winter, even though it's low season, because they work very closely with the community that surrounds the hotel, their neighbors and the local people. So these people that live in Chiloé, they have created a community that the heart of this community today is OCIO Territorial Hotel, and what they want to deliver in the destination. Okay, so as I was saying, the main characteristic of the experience when you travel with OCIO Territorial is that is authentic. Okay, what you see in the picture is actually the old house from the original owners that today has become the barbecue place, and we call it in Spanish, we call it fogón, or fireplace. And this is where you gather to eat, to get warm, and to recover from the weather outside, and when you actually, where you tell the stories of all the myths and legends from Chiloé, and this is the place where the magic actually happens. Okay, here every every time your passengers visit Chiloé with OCIO Territorial, they will have the chance to actually experience a barbecue in this authentic barbecue area or fogon. You have live music from Chiloé, and then you have the neighbors from the hotel actually coming to to share their experience, to share their way of life, and to share their stories. And this is what makes this experience very unique, very authentic. Okay. All the hotel has been set up having this premise in mind. Okay. Again, is is a boutique lodge, very comfortable, and mainly set up to be able to use it as a strategic location to discover this amazing destination. Okay, this is what the hotel actually looks like. You see Castro on the other side of the fjord of Castro Fjord, and and all the native forest that surrounds the actual hotel. Okay. The rooms up to 65 square meters, very comfortable, a lot of space. Also looking into Castro city and the native forest that surrounds the property, and and the idea is to provide a place to actually that you can immerse in Chiloé, nature, culture, and their people. Okay, so this is one of the terraces of the street. Okay, so this is your private space, and from here you have the chance to actually discover what not only Chiloé but the actual property has to offer. Okay, here you see how the hotel and how the different rooms actually blends with the surroundings. Okay, and all this architecture is is done with native woods, is done in a certain way that captures the essence of local architecture. Okay, so here you can see a little bit more in detail what the architecture is all about. What you see at the bottom of the screen is on your right hand side, you'll see the common areas of the hotel. Then you see 6 rooms that are all together, and then the 3 main suites up to 65 square meters. And each of these suites has a different approach. And really that approach, that architectural approach, depends on the location of in the space that they were located in the property. One of the main key things about the architecture of Chiloé is that not everything is built in one building. The different structures of the constructions in Chiloé, they need to be spread out in the property, and that's what OCIO has been able to accomplish with this. Okay, so capturing not only the essence of what the architecture of Chiloé is all about, but also in a way that captures the essence of the destination. Okay, everything in native woods, and taking care of what taking care of the sustainability part of being part of this amazing destination. Okay, is also worth mentioning that the corridors that connect the different areas of the hotel is nature. It's open nature. So that allows you to be in contact with nature, not only by day, but also by night after your dinner. And then you go through the native forest. You have different corridors that been done especially for to accomplish this. And the idea is to be in contact with the destination as much as you can. Okay. Now let's talk about a little bit about the experience that your passengers will get when they actually book a program with OCIO Territorial. Okay, we have different programs, but the one that I always recommend is the all-inclusive program that allow you the flexibility to actually discover this destination with OCIO Territorial and through the lens of what the owner and his team has set up for your passengers. Okay, so every time you book the program, the all-inclusive program, you have the transfers in and out from the local airport. Accommodation, of course, is full board, open bar, and daily excursions. Okay, the excursions are set up in half days or full days. Okay, so and when we look at the menu of the excursions that is being delivered by OCIO Territorial, is you have the nature, of course, that we discussed before, national parks, and the different islands that you can visit. Of course, the UNESCO World Heritage Sites that are mainly these 16 churches, 16 out of probably 70 or 80 churches spread out across the archipelago, but 16 of them has been declared UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, and then the culture and tradition, and let's talk a little bit more. Let's go deeper into this, into what culture and tradition and what makes the experience delivered by OCIO Territorial Hotel very special. Here is a map, okay, of the island, and here the idea is to show you a little bit of the different a sample of the excursions that we're doing today. And for example, you have the boat rides through the Palafitos, and then a city tour from Castro. And you'll see here in this is around the hotel and the Rilan Peninsula, the Castro Fjord, and then visiting the main city or the capital of Chiloé. The idea is that you take the boat from OCIO Territorial Wharf, which is a private wharf from the hotel, and you can actually sail around the Castro Fjord and then visit the city. Here you will meet Don Oncho, which is one of the hotel's neighbors. Okay, not only one of the neighbors, but he was his boat that is actually used for this excursion was actually funded partially by the hotel, allowing Don Oncho or Mr. Oncho to actually stay in Chiloé. Now he has an income in tourism, and he doesn't have to sell his land. So he's a proud local from Chiloé, and you have the chance to meet him, and he will happy to share his story with you as well. Okay. Then you have the Rilan Peninsula, the School Museum of Yutui, and Chiloé Farm. And here again, another part of the island, and meeting another special lady, Mrs. Maruja, and her farm, and you'll be visiting the highlights plus the local people. So adding this extra layer of culture, and it's what makes OCIO Territorial a very special place to visit. So they have created a network of local people that they help, and they help bringing in tourists, of course, and this is our part, and sending them travelers that are interested in the immersion of the destination through the local people. Okay, of course, then you have the churches, World Heritage churches all across the island and the archipelago. We visit the highlights, or the main churches of Chiloé, but then, as we are only a 15-room lodge, we have the flexibility, or we can be flexible. So it really depends on how much your passenger knows. We can adapt, and especially if you have a group, then we can tailor-make an itinerary for your passengers as well. Okay, there's another interesting area to visit, which is called Bosque Piedra and Terra Lluvia. Okay, this is stone. The translation will be like stone forest, and this is an ancient native forest that is on the way to Cucao National Park, that you can see there in yellow, the two dots in yellow. Okay, this is a fascinating area, and here you meet Miss Elena. She's an expert in flora and fauna in Chiloé, so she will be sharing her story as well. Okay, and then going to Chonchi, Okalen and Chonchi, different islands of the archipelago, where you board the Kaweskar boat, and here you see, the idea is you'll see plenty of dolphins and penguins as well. Okay, and here you meet with Jorge, which will explain the Chilote identity and the culture. Okay, so this is a small sample of what we are delivering in the destination, to be able to provide flexibility to explore and discover the destination in the way your partner wants, adding this extra layer of meeting the local people. Okay. So let's talk a little bit a sample itinerary. What a sample itinerary of visiting Chiloé would look like. Okay, this is a suggestion. Doesn't mean that it has to be this way. Your passengers, when they arrive to the hotel, they will have the chance to meet with one of our guides, and then from there we'll suggest different areas or the main highlights that you want to visit, and then your passenger will have the chance to choose. But here we can do this is an itinerary that we set up for a group that we have. And on arrival on the day one, we actually, instead of having the transfer straight to the hotel, we actually went to Castro and we navigate the fjord of Castro from the beginning, sailing the fjord of Castro and then arriving into the hotel. Okay, visiting the potato dock or Muelle de las Papas, and here you see how people actually sell and promote their produce in the island. Okay, of course, after that lunch, and then after lunch, a half-day excursion through the Rilan Peninsula, which is the one we discussed before. The Rilan Peninsula is very important in how today Castro City survives. Okay, all the produce that sustains Castro City comes from the Rilan Peninsula. So this is a very important area, and the hotel is located in this amazing peninsula. Okay, of course you will visit one Rilan church, declared a national monument in 1971, and it became part of UNESCO World Heritage Site in November of 2000. Okay, but the first construction of this church was in 1658. So you can start understanding the strong history and the culture and the place that you are actually visiting. Okay. Then on day two, you can visit Dalcaue. It's a full day to visit Dalcaue, Quinchao, but here you'll be visiting some of the main churches around the island, and of course Dalcaue, a lot of color, a lot of markets, and then not only to buy some souvenirs, but also to meet the people that work these amazing handcrafts. Okay. Of course, you visit some of the main churches, the fish, some of the markets, and then you cross to the ferry to the largest island in the archipelago, to Isla Quinchao. Okay. Of course, this is an amazing day. Is allow you to not only to see World Heritage Site, some like probably the most important secondary city in the island, which is Dalcaue, and their markets as well. Okay. And then by day three, the idea is to visit the other side of the island, where Cucao National Park is located. Okay. As we were saying, this side of the island is very wild, very raw, and on the way you can visit this Bosque Piedra or stone forest, which is the literal translation. But you have this ancient native forest and this amazing scenery to see the Pacific Ocean in full force. Okay, and of course, part of this side of the island is a small trekking to the Dog of Souls. Okay, which is what you can see. Very, if you're into photography, this is a perfect place to actually take advantage of that. Okay, and recommended itinerary, other activities, navigation through the Fjord of Castro, as we mentioned, the city tour, and of course, within the hotel, you have different areas that you can actually visit. This is a 20-hectare piece of land, so it's very easy to actually enjoy and get lost in this amazing property. Okay, so to finish, I want to mention what OCIO is all about. This started as a dream. Today is a 15-room lodge that is dedicated to promote and encourage Chilote culture, or the culture of Chiloé, to international markets, especially here in Australia with Nomade. And the main thing about their their experience, what your clients will experience is a place and a destination that is very authentic, it's very real, very down to earth, and one of the most amazing cultural experiences that Chile has to offer. Okay, I will finish with a video from OCIO, and then if there's any questions, please feel free to do it in the chat. All right, so that concludes our webinar, Chiloé with OCIO Territorial, a great combination. If your passengers are actually going to Patagonia, to Torres del Paine National Park, this is a great stop to include and a destination to include 2 to 4 nights, depending on how much time your passenger has. But if your passenger is interested in culture, they will enjoy very much. Okay, this concludes our Nomade Discover Series 2018. We'll start in January. We'll start our Nomade Discover Series again 2019 with more destinations and probably again we can do Chiloé again. But if you have any questions, any suggestions, please feel free to actually let us know. Again, the Nomade Ambassador Program is, we have our blog that we share our travel stories. We have, of course, the webinar, the Nomade Discover series with the webinar. The ones that have participated in 4 or more of the webinars will have the chance to actually travel with us in 2019 to Chile to visit Chiloé and some other destinations with the product that Nomade Unique Experiences South America represents. And of course, our newsletters to keep you informed of all the special and what's happening in South America. Okay. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Ben Garcia. Here you have my contact information. Please visit the website, subscribe to the different webinars that are coming, and we'll keep you posted in everything that we are doing. Hopefully, we'll be announcing the launch of our 2019 brochure very soon, and we'll send you a copy for you and your clients as well. Okay, thank you very much. And if there's any question, please feel free to do it with the chat. And if not, send me an email to benjamin@nomady.com.au. Thank you very much.